We'll start off with the salutations. NGC Director, Mr. Kenneth Alum, Mr. James Solomon, Chairman of the San Fernando Art Council, Mr. Sherrod Mason, NGC SANFEST Festival Director, members of the San Fernando Arts Council, the 2018 honorees, Mr. Winston Bramble and Mr. Austin Super Blue Lions, members of NGC, especially the staff members of the SANFEST volunteers as well included, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I like that. Well, first off, let me introduce myself. I am JD, and I am your Master of Ceremonies, but I think I'm representing well as a Miss of Ceremonies, right, tonight? So it is my duty to guide you through the proceedings here at SAPA, and I'm so excited to just share with you so many great things here happening tonight as we also celebrate and recognize the hard work of everyone included inside the NGC SANFEST 2018. But first, I'd like to invite each and every one of you to please stand for the national anthem. You can have your seat, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll also say you guys sounded very good. Take care of the safety briefing here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Southern Academy of the Performing Arts. We are making every effort to ensure your comfort and safety. Please take this time to listen to the following announcement. Now, in the event of an emergency, an announcement will be made. You are expected to proceed immediately but calmly down the staircase, turning right towards the glass door and exiting the building to the muster point at the furthest end of the eastern part of the car park. A SAPA representative will be on hand to guide you to the muster point. Please note that smoking is not allowed in the building. Yeah? Nice. So as you know, we are here to just really focus on, I love the tagline, if I can say that, in terms of be different, be you. We're surrounded, whether it be social media or other forms of connection and communication that remind us, you know what, being you is very imperative. Be having your own style, maintaining that and being proud of it. And the theme for the NGC's, of course, that's the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, SANFEST 2000. Arts Festival. Their theme is Be Different, Be You, and of course that means yourself, originally made unique. We do want to thank, of course, the members of the NGC Couva Joylanders. You guys heard them when you were coming in earlier on, did you? Did you not? Can you just give them a round of applause for such a great job on our national instrument? So now I would like to start things off and invite on stage Mr. James Solomon. He is the chairman of the San Fernando Arts Council, and he is here to deliver the welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this right. Put your hands together for Mr. James Solomon.
Thank you, JD, our Madam of Ceremonies this evening. I think I got that right. NGC Director, Mr. Kenneth Allam. NGC SANFEST Festival Director, Mr. Sherrod Mason. Members of the San Fernando Arts Council, the 2018 honorees, Mr. Winston Bramble and Mr. Austin Superblue Lyons, members of the NGC staff, hard-working, diligent staff you are, and the zealous SANFEST volunteers, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is only in our darkest hours that we may discover the true strength of brilliant light within ourselves that can never ever be dimmed. That's doesn't matter. And even as some persons in our twin republic experience what may be either their darkest hour and clouds of uncertainty affect some members of our public, the private sector, let us be mindful that it is our reaction to adversity, not the adversity itself, that will determine whether we become broken or we break records. We are by our very nature resourceful and generally unbreakable people. We instinctually find ways to weather the storms of time and the earthquakes that we unexpectedly experience, whether real or metaphorical. What is certain is that it is times like these that we turn to what we know to be safe and warm. We become nostalgic for a calmer, better time when there were less complex issues and more time for camaraderie and social gatherings. One such sanctuary that we visit is our traditional culture that provides an escape at times to all that is new and strange. Our heritage affords us a rich and varied cultural expanse of art, music, dance, drama, and writing. Via these art forms, we communicate not only our happiest moments, but also our times of darkest despair and fear. We explain it, depict it in song, movement, and speech in ways that are individual and unique, breathtaking, understanding and communication into every note, word and pen stroke. Our culture will help us survive all that we must endure, and it is to our culture we must return again and again for sustenance and support in these challenging socio-economic times. Our cultural arts facilitate the renewal of ourselves and remind us of who we are as a people who are distinctly Trinidadian and Tobagonian. The San Fernando Arts Council is pleased to act as a catalyst for the development, training, and presentation of our indigenous arts. We embrace the evolution expected in these traditions as we accommodate the creativity and initiative of the young people who will inherit what we have begun some 49 years ago. It is in our 49th year as an Arts Council we celebrate our differences, even as we explore what binds us together as a people and as a nation. Our NGC SANFEST theme, Be Different, Be You, embraces the age of experimentation and innovation that is the present, while passing on the beauty and magnificence of our past, with the understanding that we are creating a future that will see the best of us and will sustain our very existence. I thank our trainers, teachers, artists, parents, and performers for their exacting hours of preparation for this great showcase that is our SANFEST. We could not be around and strong for 49 years without your hard work. I am grateful to our corporate sponsors, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, for embracing our vision over a decade ago and believing that what we do is important and essential enough to continue to provide financial support to this event. I'm also deeply appreciative of the considerations and support we are given by the ministries involved with us: the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, the Ministry of Education. This year, our NGC SANFEST team is led by Mr. Sherrod Mason. And I say a special word of thanks to him for readily taking on this challenge. He has co-opted the assistance of a group of hard-working and zealous people, and they are eager to see this festival roll out and all their preparations put to the test. We at the San Fernando Arts Council look forward to the many students, teachers, performers, judges, accompanists, and supporters who make this festival so exciting, keenly competitive, and an explosion of great talent every year. I am honored to welcome you formally to the launch of the NGC SANFEST in 2018, and I look forward to seeing you during the weeks to follow. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Solomon. Direct your attention to the screen behind me as we get ready to focus on this lovely piece of the new committee that has been appointed to take charge of the 2018 NGC SANFEST. Let's get acquainted with the members of this year's NGC SANFEST.
As festival director, my role is to motivate and encourage the staff that I have, the working committee, as well as the volunteers for the festival. I am Sherrod Mason, the festival director for the NGC SANFEST 2018. As festival director, I answer to the Arts Council, which is the head body of the festival. The main aim and objective of the festival is to allow the youths, the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, a platform to showcase, I should say, their God-given talent in a different discipline of the arts. This year's festival committee has a lot to offer, and we are willing to continue after this year's edition of the festival.
Hi, I'm Lucette Regis. I'm the Assistant Festival Director of NGC SANFEST 2018.
My name is Simone Joseph, and I am the Public Relations Officer for NGC SANFEST 2018.
Everybody have the opportunity to express themselves and assist in making this festival a successful one, now and beyond.
My name is Campbell Whittington, and I am the IT Specialist for this year's NGC SANFEST 2018.
As a new committee, our first agenda was to brand the festival. So as you can see from our t-shirt, this will be a permanent logo and it's part of our permanent branding. So whenever it is seen, you should know it is SANFEST. So it will not be changed every year, it's a permanent. That is one of the things.
My name is Lydia Cleghorn, and I am the festival treasurer.
I am Risa Joseph, and I am the festival secretary.
We also did town meetings to get the feedback from stakeholders, teachers, and students, and also encourage schools that have never took part in SANFEST to become part of the festival. So we have a pool of dancers, of musicians, so that the schools that are not outfitted with these persons in the discipline can call on the SANFEST committee this year, and we will give them the information so they can contact various disciplines to come and assist them so they'll be able to take part in the festival.
I am Alex Liz Williams, and I am the Communications Officer for the NGC SANFEST 2018.
It is not a one-man show.
My name is Donnelise Rees, and I am the graphic designer for the NGC SANFEST committee, as well as the administrative assistant for the San Fernando Arts Council.
Our plan is to move up the festival to a later date, to give the schools more time to prepare for SANFEST in a new term for September. So instead of it starting in September, we'll start in October. What does that mean for the team? Our human resource is very important for the successful run of the festival. So what we plan to do, in having the festival later, it means we have to get judges in all discipline and have the festival run same time throughout the country. So the festival will take 3 or 4 days instead of 2 to 3 weeks. So that's the preliminary run. Giving the schools more time to prepare for the festival, that is 1 week. And also run the festival as a business so that the schools will have a better results of prize giving, because one of the motivational factors behind the schools are what they're getting back. Over the years, they found that they spend a lot of money outfitting the children for the festival, but the return have been small. Great gratitude must be given to NGC, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. Without this support over the years, the festival would not be at the standard, from my belief, of where it is today. And I say kudos to NGC for jumping on board with this venture.
NGC SANFEST 2018, delivering excellence from start to finish.
Shall relax.
I am the information system.
It's just a pretty joke, sorry.
If I look in this year, you need to tell me. Okay then, because
without the support of this company, we would not have had the standard of the festival that it is to date. I would say that over. Blah, 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 blah. You have to lower your television to smell your pot burning.
To the entire committee, and I love the bloopers at the end. It showed realism. Did you get that? They're trying to just deliver, and yeah, we mess up sometimes. So can you give them another round of applause, please? Also, our friends at NGC. So, ladies and gentlemen, we continue on with this evening's proceeding. It is now my job to introduce to you the NGC Director, Mr. Kenneth Alum, giving the sponsors' remarks.
Thank you very much, Madam MC. Mr. James Solomon, Chairman of the San Fernando Arts Council, Mr. Sherrod Mason, NGC SANFEST Festival Director, members of the San Fernando Arts Council, the 2018 honorees, Mr. Winston Bramble and Mr. Austin Super Blue Lions, my fellow members of NGC, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening, good evening to you. I am grateful for the opportunity to share a few words on behalf of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, NGC, title sponsors of this now iconic arts festival, NGC SANFEST. Over the years, this competition has been underwritten by some thought-provoking themes which have impelled our young performers to great achievement in the arts. This year is no different, with participants being challenged to be different, be you. In the context of competition, this theme will no doubt push participants to leverage their innate talents and get creative with their work and performances. This certainly promises exciting entertainment for NGC SANFEST audiences. What I want to focus on, however, as we launch the 2018 installment, is the bigger picture of this year's call to be unique, original, and true to self. The festival's theme carries two equally important messages. On the one hand, it asks that we appreciate and value difference. The world that our young people live in today can be very punishing of difference. There is so much pressure to conform, to wear clothes that are fashionable, to listen to trending music, to own up-to-the-minute tech. It takes courage to move against the current as a young person. Indeed, even adults can struggle to do so. It is much easier to follow the crowd, but where the like-minded follow, difference can lead. And this is something we need to teach our children, that it is not always necessary to keep to the norm. Venturing away from the beaten path, figuratively speaking that is, can be extremely rewarding, not just in terms of personal development, but economically as well. Most entrepreneurs build their success on difference, on being or offering something that no one else is or does. On that point, when it comes to education and career options, the guidance parents give to their children should be more flexible. For instance, as adults, we need to open our minds to the possibility of extracurricular interests growing into viable careers. Our country does not just need doctors, engineers, and lawyers. We must see the commercial value of creative talent, sporting talent, and the like, and support our children if their interests and abilities lie in these areas. Difference can prove to be a tremendous advantage. The second important element of the SANFEST team that I wish to highlight is that it encourages us to take pride in what makes us special and unlike everyone else. Our nation 2 weeks ago celebrated 56 years of independence. For more than half a century, we have had the freedom to define ourselves, to tell the world, this is what makes us who we are, what makes us unique among nations. But if we are truly free and independent, why do we so often see local as less than? Where is our unconditional parental pride in the culture we have created? Where is the pan on radio? How much do we engage carnival history in the school curriculum? How many local artists hang on our walls? In this context, the theme of SANFEST 2018, with its emphasis on being true to self, original and unique, becomes more than just a call to embrace difference at the individual level. It is an invitation to the entire country to see the culture that sets us apart as a thing of value. What is fantastic about NGC SANFEST is that throughout its history, this festival has sought to open our eyes to the beauty of our traditional culture and to ensure it is familiar and accessible to successive generations. It is a marvelous thing to see young boys and girls interpreting traditional folk characters, delivering national songs in chorus, performing local folk dances, playing pan and tassa like pros, and telling stories in our colorful and expressive dialect. We may not realize it, but asking our youth to reproduce traditional and local culture and rewarding their successful execution helps establish subliminal linkages between cultural preservation and value. In that way, NGC SANFEST is keeping culture alive, helping us see its worth, and instilling pride in the craft of our hands and minds. On that note, I wish to extend congratulations to the San Fernando Arts Council for the fantastic work they have been doing in service of the arts and culture of Trinidad and Tobago. At every edition of NGC SANFEST, we are reminded of the need for this festival and are gratified that our investment is simultaneously engaging and benefiting our youth, our culture, and our economy. We remain committed to this partnership and trust that it will continue to facilitate excellence in the arts. Ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I just want to issue an appeal of the organizers that the public turn up in support of our young performers. Besides the entertainment factor, the culture that these young people will be reviving for the stage is not for their profit only. We as a country need to remember and appreciate what makes us different and unique. Thank you and best of luck for the successful NGC SANFEST 2018.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth Alum. So this year, as with past years, the committee throughout, well, always finds it fitting to honor. And today, well, we have two cultural ambassadors that the spotlight will be on tonight. They are Mr. Winston Bramble and Mr. Austin Super Blue Lyons. This evening, we have, first off, to pay tribute to Mr. Winston Bramble. We have Miss NGC SANFEST winner, Jaleese Roberts. And actually, Jaleese will be doing double duty tonight, so we're going to start off first with her tribute to Mr. Bramble. Jaleese?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, specially invited guests. A tribute to Mr. Winston Bramble. Cultural activists are saying no, not no ordinary man come out to show. Sometimes I just wonder why so much people with gifts, talents, just suffer. Sometimes I just wonder why few of these people just prosper. But it's only the other day I realized the secret to success. Once you get that registered deep in your brain, you will manifest. The other day I going through my primary school pictures, just reminiscing. The days when we had nothing to worry about. Yeah. So I'm going through my primary school pictures, and that is when I recognized somebody from SANFEST, one of my very own teachers. Now you're probably wondering why this one teacher stood out to me. Why this one teacher captured my attention immediately. Mr. Bramble exposed my love for the arts. I will never forget the day when Mr. Bramble few words spoke to my heart. Mr. Winston Bramble, a successful man indeed, captivated, inspired, and intrigued by all aspects of the performing arts. That is where he planted his seed. A man who grew up from a religious background, being involved in the Methodist fraternity, where he was inspired immediately. It was performing, literacy, and visual arts that all added up to his long, illustrious career. But one aspect stood out to him the most. It was religious and classical music. Yes, religious and classical music. So it has soca, calypso, reggae, but you will understand why it was soca and classical music. Mr. Bramble, enriching his life and so being the powerful and dedicated man that he is, he began his career in music. It was also no surprise when Mr. Bramble was positioned the festival director of the National Junior Arts Festival, currently known as NGC SANFEST. Known as NGC SANFEST, he was in 2009-2016. Mr. Bramble will always be one of my role models, a man with a strong belief that he can do everything which strengthens him. Let us all try to be like Mr. Bramble. Let us all believe, trust, dedicate. Let us prosper. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaleese, and that is why I didn't worry to do my intro to you, sir, because she took everything, and I just like, you know what? But doubling up wouldn't have been a bad thing at all. Jaleese is going to make her way back on stage in just a bit, but at this point, I would like to invite on stage Mr. James Solomon to make the presentation to Mr. Bramble. Of course, this is just one of our honorees here tonight, here at SAPA. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both gentlemen as they make their way on stage.
On behalf of the Arts Council, we honor you at the 2018 SANFEST and recognize your hard work and toiling in the vineyards for all of these years. You are truly a blessing to the thousands of children that came into your contact and the administration that you've brought to the council. So, congratulations, and I now present this to you. Thank you.
All right, we continue with the tribute here this evening to another honoree, and we know this gentleman. We've got memories, whether it is Monday and Tuesday on the road, or at some big fete, or just starting off in terms of the colors. And you know it was important, in fact, to have that rag some years ago, because he encouraged us to get that rag, you remember? I am talking about the tribute now for Mr. Austin Lyons, Super Blue, and I did mention to you, double duty applied to Jaleesa Roberts. Please re-invite her on stage.
Good afternoon, all again. A tribute to Austin Lyons. Austin Lyons, who everybody know as Super Blue. Super Blue was born on May 25th, 1956 in Point Fortin, Trinidad. At At an early age, he taught himself to make and play the steel pan, and then formed his own band, the Apple Star Steel Orchestra. In 1980, he joined a calypso tent and sang, "Like Soca Baptist." Yes, Soca Baptist. This tune took the whole country by storm and went on to earn him the Road March title. Soca Baptist was one of the biggest road march tunes in history of Carnival, Trinidad Carnival. In 1992, Super Blue won the road march for the 5th time with Jab Jab, and in 1993 with his tune Bacchanal Time. In 1995, Super Blue won the title again with Lara. Super Blue continues to tour the Caribbean, spreading the music and culture of Trinidad and Tobago. Super Blue sealed his triumphant return to the soca scene in 2013 by winning his 9th Road March title, in addition to tying the first place in the International Soca Monarch with Marshall Montano. His winning song, Fantastic Friday, was played over 500 times on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, beating his main opponent, Marshall Montano, who got less than 60 plays. A tribute to Super Blue. Thank you.
So it is at this point I would like to invite on stage the NGC Director, Mr. Kenneth Alum, to make the presentation to another one of the honorees tonight, Mr. Austin Super Blue Lyons.
Thank you, NGC SANFEST, everybody here who's a part. I'm amazed, I'm impressed. The work sometimes, if you don't know, you don't know, right? I'm impressed with the work and the volume of work and the vision is to target the children. I'm impressed with your very, very, give a round of applause again for that. Right? Because I notice you're reading, but you're still putting your own thing in your own thing. Yeah, you're very good. How old are you? 40. 15. No, but I thank everybody here for this vision and for the work of the committee. I want to post to the committee first, SANFEST committee, by myself, and on behalf of everybody, the committee and the who have it here, and the vision, I would like to say sing one thing at that time, Lord. The Lord is my shepherd, I should lack nothing, no, no, no. He makes me lie down in green pastures, He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul and guide me in the path of righteousness For his name's sake, do I walk through the valley of shadows of death? Oh, you, you. I would fear no evil, for I know you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they are the things that comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Oh, you anoint our head with oil, for sure our cup overflow. Oh, you, oh, NGC SANFEST. Oh, 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 there's joy in my soul, joy in my soul, joy in my soul. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of our life, and we're going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever 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 and ever. Life eternity. Be Lord bless and keep you safe and holy.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give both honorees a really round up? There you go. So that saved me from asking you to do a little something, because, you know, I was trying to go there, but you just hooked us up. You're the man. You're the man. You see, presenting as always. You know what? We'll talk to the event planner and see what can happen later on, because you're the man of the night as well, right? Both of you. Maybe you can get Mr. Bramble to do something too. You never know. All right, so as we continue on, because we've got so much more mingling to do, as well as just so much in terms of greeting and finding out so much more from each other in terms of our role here inside of the NGC SANFEST 2018, I do want to step to the gentleman you saw a few minutes ago on the screen, and you know, he messed it up a little bit, you remember, in his blue t-shirt? And he's nodding to the back. I'm talking about this gentleman's remarks stood out for me in one of the books I was reading. He says, our intention is that the audience should become part of the creative process. And I think also the director of NGC said something about creativity, because it is in one of those, shall I say, fields that is really not paid attention to in Trinidad and Tobago. And there's a wealth of, in fact, richness within the creative field. So I'm loving this, and we're just going to hear so much more from the man himself coming, and he's smiling at me, Mr. Sherrod Mason. It is now your turn, sir. He is the festival director.
Member of the Board of Director, Mr. Kenneth Allam, Mr. James Solomon, Chairman of the San Fernando Arts Council, staff of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, members of the San Fernando Arts Council, the honoraries, this there, Mr. Winston Bramble and Mr. Austin Superblue Lyons, volunteers, members of the media, Gillian Gibbs, Master of Ceremonies, Madam, sorry, you see, I promise to smile. Okay, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am Mr. Sherrod Mason, your 2018 Festival Director. Need to go down. I'm immensely proud to be part of this experience. It is truly humbling to be part of something so rewarding. Some of you may not know, NGC SANFEST is the only national festival of its kind, standalone as a competition which embodies, embraces, and celebrates all disciplines of the arts throughout our beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Many of our local artists once graced our stage before rising to stardom. It is imperative that we all play our part in steering continuity of our legacy And it is only when we, the stakeholders and benefactors, put our shoulders together for this to be achieved. And it is on this premise that I stand here to give thanks to those who have been involved directly and indirectly in ensuring that SANFEST lives on. I wish to acknowledge the pioneers who have formed the San Fernando Arts Council in 1969 and created this festival of the arts, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. Recognizing our potential of growth and for investing in this initiative, the Ministry of Education, for their unwavering assistance in the festival in the most significant way by giving schools the necessary support to participate and involve their students and teachers alike in the festival each year. Each member of every SANFEST committee over the past years who have worked assiduously to guarantee that the festival was successful, and most importantly, our students and parents for allowing us to be the mentor for your children. The National Junior Arts Festival Committee, and by extension the San Fernando Arts Council, remain dedicated and steadfast at the NGC SANFEST as we wish to see the festival thrive and flourish to greatest heights ever. Remember, our theme this year, be different, be you, yourself, original, unique. I repeat, you are everything beautiful, proud, and unique. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You are, thanks. Before we leave, what I would like you all to do is to not run away, but stay with us and socialize, get to know each other. The executive team, the SANFEST team, and the hard-working staff of NGC. Please don't run. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
As you know, this is the official opening of NGC SANFEST 2018 Junior Arts Festival. Before we get ready to mingle and chat, and as Cheryl just indicated, we have an element of surprise. So at this point, I would like to invite Mr. James Solomon back on stage to do a secret presentation, and that's all I can say from my end. Ladies and gentlemen, back on stage, we've got Mr. James Solomon.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. We are doing something after we've said thanks. But we are going to be different this evening, and we are going to be Trinidadian and Tobagonian. So there's something that we almost omitted. In our presence this evening is a past employee of the San Fernando Arts Council, someone who would have toiled extremely hard over the years, ensuring that our facilities would have been kept in a pristine condition, doing the work behind the scene when all the other officers of the council were at home. Such work is priceless. And how do we say thank you for someone who would have done that job for a fraction of what it was really worth? Understanding the challenges and the constraints of the financial position of the organization, yet she labored on. It is our position this evening to at least show a token of our thanks and gratitude to you, Miss Carol Can. Could we all give Miss Carol Can a round of applause? Could you please stand so they can see you? And to let you know that we appreciate you, we thank you for the work that you would have done, And we now ask you to come on stage for this presentation and this minuscule appreciation in an envelope. So, Ms. Carol, thank you so much. We love you.
Why am I pausing, right? I lost my voice at the end of the show. What's going on with this? But ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for us to mingle, chat, and get to know each other. We say thank you so much for being here for the formal part of this evening. Go and have yourselves a good time. Get ready for all the activities from the young ones and the hard work shown over the next few weeks from the entire team at NGC SANFEST 2018. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming. Have yourself a good evening. We continue on.
Stop on
And is he referee?
Yes.
Mr. George! Mr. Parry in the house, boy.
My friend. We always talking. So when I see that Facebook book, I bring him down. It's a fire.